Hi, I'm Jake Waller from Audio Fiction, and I'm here with Joe from Joe Davies Photography. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. It's been a long day.
Yeah. Award-winning day.
I know. That's one of 3.
So you just won the award for Innovation.
I know.
Yeah. So what sort of innovations are you approaching in the world of photography?
Well, 4 years ago, my accountant asked me if I was purely a photographer to get new cameras. So I do like upgrading my cameras very often, and in the last 18 months I've updated all my cameras to the latest mirrorless, which is it's unbelievable. I love them. Yeah,
I'm currently itching to get new equipment. It's always the way.
Is it with something else?
It's like an addiction. It's so bad.
I know.
Oh, can I get that new microphone? Can I get that new camera? It's like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if I had a wireless system? So
my latest is I got asked if I had a drone, so I'm going to have to look into doing drone work as well. So that'll be
different insurance for drone work.
I know. I don't.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But the other side of it is I've been working with a company over the last probably just over a year now that are looking at AI. Not the dodgy AI, stealing of photographs, but what they do is they had a culling software which was brilliant, and it was in beta test, and then they brought out an editing system that used AI, and what it meant was that I had to plug in. I think I've plugged in about between 5,000 and 10,000 of my own images.
Wow.
And it learns from the adjustments of my images how I process my images.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So then what it does is I run my profile then over my photos, and it does the adjustments, not the finished adjustments. But it saves me so much time in my processing now. And they've just gone live, as in it's just out of beta testing.
That's amazing.
They are. It's such a brilliant company. I'm going to plug them because they're called Aftershoot. They are fantastic.
That's great. That's really, I will have to, because I do quite a lot of photography, not work-wise, but just in life. And
the culling saved time, and then when they brought out the editing, I thought, right, I even bought into their founders deal because it was so good. I tested it, and
I love AI for. I use it a lot in editing.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of really helpful AI editing tools.
Yeah.
So I'm hooked on that. I've tried to stay as up to date as possible with what's going on in tech.
Yeah.
And what's available in tech.
I know.
That's the whole industry.
I'm so creative. I am rubbish with words. So give me AI for writing anything.
Oh yeah, my God, that. So I'm horrendously dyslexic as well. So that has been game changing for me.
It is. It's brilliant, isn't it?
Even just from I like to make sure that the words for the most part are my own.
Yes.
But even just from a structuring standpoint, it is time saving.
Yeah.
And it's mind blowing.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of people go for GPT. I really like Bing AI.
Okay.
I would suggest Bing AI because it live references websites.
Okay.
So you can ask it to, for example, I was using it for crafting questions and stuff, different interviews I was doing today, right? To just give me inspiration and stuff.
Yeah.
I asked it to look at business publications and reference business publications when trying to come up with different questions and stuff.
I've got to admit, I've tried the Google one, but I do still go back to ChatGPT. I really do. Yeah.
I feel like Bing is just a little bit better.
I will need to take a look at that, definitely. The other side of it was, because Adobe have been beta testing their...
Spark. Is it Spark? No, or is it...
It's through Photoshop, but their AI software. So they've run a beta test of that for the last 4 or 5 months. And I know that a lot of people are concerned that they're stealing photographs, but they're using the imagery from their own databases.
Oh, okay.
So now we've moved out of that. So I was plugged into that for the last 4 months as well. So anything that I did was being plugged back into their system to, for the testing and stuff like that. So I'm very techie minded and anything to do with cameras.
Yeah, absolutely. How did you get started in photography? photography then? Because it's like, you know, you've got so much like top end equipment. You're like really involved, you know. So
do you know what? I did it in school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd always loved. I am very arty. I draw and I paint. And the first time I picked up a camera, and I know it's really cliched. You hear, oh, you know, when I was in school, I always had a camera, but I did, and I had 2 cameras. And my school, one of the very sort of, I mean, I am quite old, but they had a photography department in my school. So when you went into sixth form, you could do your O-level and A-level photography.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. And then I didn't really carry it on until digital came in.
Yeah.
And because I was interested in computers as well, because I did computer science A-level, art and design A-level, and photography A-level. So I was very interested in computers, picked up those very quickly, and as soon as sort of I could get hold of Photoshop, I was sort of playing around with that. But it was a point when I was in probably my early 40s, and I lost my father when he was only 47, and so I was approaching the age he was, and I'm thinking, what am I doing with my life? Why am I not doing what I want to do? And that's when I got offered the chance to work with a wedding photography company.
Oh, okay.
So I started out very basic kit, quickly learnt that my kit wasn't going to cut it.
Yeah.
And luckily, was financially able to sort of upgrade my kit. And for 10 years, I've been doing weddings until, well, I finished this year, actually. I just sort of kept the, you know, the tail off of the weddings, sort of ended this year. But 2019, I moved to commercial because I love working with people.
Yeah.
Event photography, that kind of, you know, what I've been doing today. And unfortunately, then the pandemic happened, and I literally met Neil in the January of 2020.
Okay.
And he was like, you know, very quickly moved to online networking, which kept me. Oh my God, you know,
I can imagine.
be able to sit in front of other business people going through the same issues, you know, that we're all going through at the same time. And Zokit, I've just grown the business, the commercial side of the business from Zokit, really. But I also love the computer side of it as well, which is why I'm interested in, you know, all the AI software.
For sure. Well, I started in theatre.
Yeah.
So I started as a theatre tech, so working pantomimes and musicals and like, you know, and so I kept like very up to date with what was happening, you know, and then I became like the go-to AV guy, you know, in like theatres I was working in and stuff. So
I do feel sometimes that I'm getting left behind. I keep thinking, oh, people go, do you do video? And I'm like, oh, I really don't want to teach myself video now.
Yeah, I get you. It's very like,
I've cracked that. My art is done. I've done it.
Yeah, for sure.
But there are too many. That's part of the reason. Not part of the reason. Well, I suppose it is part of the reason why I moved away from weddings.
Yeah.
Too many people were. Oh, I can do video and photography at the same time at a wedding.
That seems like a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I mean, I've done it for some events. But it's usually in like 2 stages where it's like you set up the video, and then once the video's done, you get like pictures of everyone together, and then, you know.
That's it. But you imagine doing a wedding, trying to capture a whole wedding.
I cannot.
No.
I don't even want to. I purposefully stay away from weddings. I'm like afraid of weddings because I feel like it's very. Although I've heard the opposite, but it's like because it's such. It's so special to people. It's like everyone's special day.
It is.
I really, you know, don't want to, you know. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Neil's cut us off. Shout out Zokit. Thank you so much for coming and interviewing.
Thank you.